Hey everyone, my name is Courtney Cochran and I serve as the manager of the National Wildlife Federation EcoLeaders online community. And I'm really excited to share with you some information about the various certifications that we offer through our EcoLeader program and how they can benefit you and as you pursue your leadership and career goals. Many of you are likely already members of our EcoLeaders community and therefore somewhat familiar with the offerings of the community. But just as a quick refresher for folks who may be new, EcoLeaders is NWF's project-based leadership and career development online hub for folks starting in late high school all the way through early career professionals. So through this online community and resource hub, our main goal is to help young people to become environmental leaders, specifically through project-based leadership experiences. And so to that end, we provide a whole host of resources for you to take advantage of to learn about environmental issues and determine how you would like to make an impact in your community by leading a project, while also having the opportunity to connect with thousands of other like-minded leaders across the country and even in other parts of the world. And then taking it a step further, we offer the opportunity to earn certification in the form of digital badges to recognize the leadership skills and the knowledge that you've gained through the experience of leading a project. Let's dig in a little bit to the why. What are the benefits of certification and badges, and what is the value proposition that we're offering? The certifications that we offer through our EcoLeaders program are really a foundational element of our program. And we put a lot of emphasis on them because we believe that there is real value in both the process of earning certification as well as the outcome. Because through the process of earning a certification, you're provided with a framework to use to strategically work through your project-based leadership experience. And then once you've earned the certification, it provides you with a tangible and easy way to convey the very important project-based leadership skills that you've acquired through your experience onto a resume or a college application or LinkedIn profile, or when talking to a potential employer. And one thing that makes our EcoLeader certification unique is that it recognizes not just the theoretical understanding of environmental issues or leadership competencies, but also encourages the deeper grounding gained through hands-on experiential learning and leadership experience. And so it's often that at some point in your high school or college career that you'll likely lead a project, be it for class or an extracurricular activity, or just through your own desire to see change in your community. But it can be easy to overlook the really valuable skills that you've developed along the way. And that's where certification can help you better understand what those important transferable job skills are and give you a tangible badge to use to promote yourself. And employers across all industries indicate that soft skills, like those that you develop through project-based leadership experience, are as important and often even more important than technical competencies in certain disciplines. And so to that end, according to LinkedIn, as you see here, people who add certifications to their LinkedIn profile can expect to see 6 times the average number of profile views, as well as getting contacted via InMail within LinkedIn 6 times more. And here at NWF, our HR department does give preferential review to job applicants who have earned the EcoLeader credential. So just some food for thought there. So now let's talk about the certification offerings that are available through our EcoLeaders program. We offer 3 different categories of certifications: campaign badges, project certification, and individual EcoLeader certification, available for both the campus and the community level. So campaign badges that you see in the bottom left-hand corner of this slide are really the starting point to our certifications. They allow you to get directly involved with some of NWF's most pressing campaigns, and they serve as an entry point for you to familiarize yourself with our project-based learning and leadership model. which I'll talk a bit more about soon. Currently, we offer 4 different campaign badges, which support a variety of NWF-led efforts and initiatives. Eco Schools USA is a nationwide program that engages pre-K through 12 school students, faculty and administrators, and community volunteers in a really comprehensive environment-based program to improve student environmental literacy and skills. So we have a badge that helps support that program. Campus Race to Zero Waste, which is a college and university recycling competition to promote waste reduction and recycling activities on college campuses and their nearby communities. The Monarch and Pollinator Badge gives you the opportunity to learn about the threats that monarchs and other pollinators face and ideas for how you can be part of the solution. And then the Wildlife Crossing Badge gives you the opportunity to learn about the work taking place to help wildlife through wildlife crossings, like the large crossing that is actually set to start construction in April of 2022 in Southern California to protect the mountain lion population. So that's a really interesting badge to learn more about that specific campaign and then other wildlife crossing opportunities to get involved in. I'll also put out a little promotion to say that we are excited to be launching a new additional EcoLeader campaign badge next year. So keep your eye out for that announcement coming relatively soon. And then moving on from campaign badges, the next level of certification is project certification, which recognizes projects and project teams, really showcasing the positive impact that projects or campaigns are having on the environment. And the project badge can recognize multiple individuals involved in the project or campaign or the individual leader as well. And then finally, the campus and community EcoLeader certification is our top level of certification, and it recognizes an individual's leadership either on a school campus or in the community. So these different levels and categories of certification allow you to choose the certification that makes the most sense for you wherever you are in your leadership journey. You can start at campaign badges and work your way up to EcoLeader certification, or you can apply for certification retroactively for efforts or projects that you may have already completed. So it's really flexible and really designed to support you at all different levels. While each of the different certification offerings involve varying degrees of involvement, we structure the application process of each certification to generally follow the same project-based leadership model or cycle of learn, act, communicate, sustain, and reflect. And we think of these project phases as a continuous learning or leadership cycle that really serves as a framework or a template that you can use as a guide throughout the life cycle of your project. So you can revisit the various project phases if you need to make adjustments, if elements of your projects change, as they so often do. So the first phase is all about learning. You might still be trying to determine where you want to focus your efforts and where your passion lies, or perhaps you've already chosen an issue and now you need to become better informed about the issue and efforts that might already be underway that you can connect with or initiate in your community. This is the phase to learn about what issue you want to tackle and how to go about doing that. Then once you feel that you're well educated on the issue and you've developed a plan for how you would like to get involved, you'll move on to the act phase, where you'll start implementing your project and taking actions. And then the next phase is communicate. And as they say, communication is key. And obviously communication takes a lot of forms and is important throughout the life cycle of a project, but making sure that you intentionally strategize around communication is really important. And this includes communicating with the public and your community about your efforts to share your story, but also includes how you might communicate with other folks who might be involved in your project, like volunteers or other project leaders. Perhaps you need to recruit volunteers to help with your effort or fundraise. So these are also important communication needs to make sure that you have a plan for. And then we move on to the sustain and reflect phase. And in this phase, you're encouraged to reflect on the outcomes of your project thus far and develop a plan for the future to ensure your project is sustainable and has the necessary resources and support to keep it active. Your project may have been a one-time action or event, but perhaps it could be more. In this phase, you're encouraged to really consider the sustainability of your project or action, and also to reflect on how it went. Are there things you could have done differently? Moving forward, how could you incorporate some of the lessons learned to make it even more successful? Perhaps there's folks that can take the reins and continue the effort beyond your leadership. This would be meeting with your project team and any people or groups that might be interested to explore options to maintain the project. So we call this a continuous learning and leadership cycle because you'll be constantly learning and acting and communicating and reflecting and revisiting each of these phases whenever necessary. And I also want to highlight that we have a whole online library with supporting resources for each of these phases in the EcoLeaders resource library, including a project planning template, which walks you through each of these steps in great detail with prompts for developing your own project plan. So once you've earned a badge, it's important to consider how best to share your new credential that will be most beneficial to you. And we actually have a whole page in the EcoLeaders community with helpful links and prompts to help you through this process, some of which are included in this slide, like sharing your digital badge on LinkedIn. And we actually provide a really easy way to do this through EcoLeaders with a link that you can click. Sharing your badge on resumes under an awards or certification section, sharing on social media, perhaps adding your certification to your email signature, creating a short elevator pitch so you're ready to talk about your certification in a clear, succinct way that really highlights the skills that you gained from the experience. And now that you have at least an introduction to our EcoLeader certifications, I wanted to highlight just a few of the individuals who have earned certification to give you a glimpse into some of the projects that certified EcoLeaders have led on their campuses and in their communities, and to share their own reflections on what EcoLeader certification has meant to them and to their leadership experience. So here we have Amira O'Day. Amira earned EcoLeader certification for her project titled No Más Botellas, No More Bottles. As a student leader of an environmental organization at the University of Puerto Rico, Amira led research on the amount of plastic that was being used at the university. And through that research, she realized how much plastic was being used and how little people knew about the issues related to plastic consumption. So she and her team started an education campaign and succeeded in banning bottled water sales on campus and getting the university to install new drinking fountains. So in Amira's words, she said, the certification allows you to not only be taken seriously, but when looking for work, I used it on my resume, and it has been really helpful because it's an organization that's well known. It was a great step for me, and I would recommend it to anyone. Next up, we have Catherine. Catherine earned certification for her efforts to address the limited representation of diverse persons in discussions of environmental equity by expanding the number of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at the Association of Environmental Studies and Sciences conferences. And Catherine said that being an NWF community EcoLeader has opened doors to community building that I wouldn't otherwise have. In my work organizing roundtables for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the climate environmental sphere, certifications that demonstrate trust and commitment help initiate collaboration with wider audiences. Nashant earned certification for his Sustainable Brother program at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, which was designed to engage brothers of the Alpha Pi Omega National Service Fraternity to make sustainability part of their daily lives. And it's a dual concentration program focusing on both the education and the action aspects of sustainability. And Nishant says, my EcoLeader certification helped me work through my ideas and get support to get them recognized. Years later, both of my projects are still sustainable and in good hands. The EcoLeader certification program has helped me to rethink the way I do things, get ideas for what I was doing, and also a sense of pride to share with people that work I am doing now. And Phoebe earned certification for her rainwater harvesting research at St. Edward's University, in which she focused on the research and proposal of a rainwater harvesting system for St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas, as part of her master's research project. I also want to put in a little promo that Phoebe was a speaker on the EcoCareers 2022 Urban Planning Panel. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, I would encourage you to watch that recording. So that was a quick overview of the certification offerings we have available through EcoLeaders, the benefits of earning certification, and then as you can see through those examples, I just highlighted some of the real world examples of how these certifications are helping people pursue their leadership and career. So thanks so much for watching. Feel free to get in touch with me. My email address is on this slide. And of course, you can always find me in the EcoLeaders community. And I look forward to supporting you on your certification journey. Thanks so much and keep up the great work.